Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome back to Sarkey Farmsteads. My name is Samantha. I am the operator of a 2-acre farmstead located here in Southeast Louisiana. Let me tell you a little bit about Stephen and I. We are different than most homesteaders or farmsteaders. First, we're small acreage. Second, we're totally out of debt. No credit cards, folks. Third, we are totally no-till, regenerative, climate friendly, no manure waste, no food waste, no paper waste on the entire farm. I have something called sustainable loop systems that I put in place, and you can find those in our no-till. If you want to watch that, when you pop on, guys, hit the thumbs up, drop in comments who you are. I forgot to let my editor of the newspaper, Leslie, know I was going live. I promised I would do better about that. Okay, so if you don't know, we have a newsletter for Starkey Farmstead, folks. And it's really interesting. Almost all the topics that I deep dive on videos, we go even further in the newsletter. And the reason we do that, good morning, Susie. The reason we do that is just be very careful on social media what you are allowed to say. There are so many topics that will not only get you demonetized, like what happened to me, they will get you deplatformed, like what happened to Dave Hodges. No strikes, no warnings, just boop, your entire channel gone. You've got Lou Valentino demonetized, Squirrel Tribe demonetized. Now, I think Squirrel Tribe has recently been able to get her monetization back, but I have now tried twice and failed. If they don't agree with your platform stance, if you're not hard left, you're probably not going to stay paid for long. Good morning, Miss Davis. How are you? Oh, from Georgia. Love Georgia. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Top of the morning, friend. All right, guys. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, we have got a whole lineup of topics. We're going to start with how the government is destroying the food system. So if you look at current California, Idaho, Ohio, all of them, water issues. The farmers are coming under, tremendous restrictions. It's like there's even, and I think it might be, I can't really remember the state. I read about it the other day. They're charging farmers to drive on public roads, but they aren't charging 18-wheelers. So like, say you've got a full-size truck and you're pulling 20 cows in a trailer. That one trip going just a few miles down the road could cost you upwards of $600. They're doing this because they want to destroy the food system. They want America dependent on imports, right? From Mexico, from China, from Russia, like legitimately our enemies. They're leaving us wide open. Here's the thing, guys. Now, some of you may know this and some of you may not, and that's okay. When you pick vegetables, they don't last very long, okay? Point in case, let me show you something. Hold on one second. I should have gathered all this before I started, but I just thought about it. The teacher in me kicked in. I picked these cucumbers 2 days ago. Already getting soft, right? It's like legitimately getting soft. Tomatoes, same thing. 2 days. 2 days they've been off the vine. They're getting soft. Why is it that you can go to the grocery store and say that food was grown Mexico? All right, let's talk about it. It's got to be picked in Mexico. Then it has to be held somewhere, correct? It's got to go to a holding area. It's got to be documented. It has to be checked by the USDA agent for Mexico that works there, employed by the United States government for the USDA. Then it has to be packaged, labeled, shipped. What do you think the minimum amount of time for large amounts of food to move like that would be? Y'all drop it in comments. Good morning, Rebecca. My guess, a minimum 2 weeks for that food to come out of those large farms and into your local grocery stores when it's being imported. So how is it that Samantha can pick a cucumber and in 2 days it's flimsy, right? Yet the cucumbers in the store you're purchasing are crisp, perfect, looks like they were just picked off the vine. That should concern you. I took a class that was from an Obama era rule that came down through the USDA called FSMA, FSMA, Food Safety Modernization Act. I took it because I wanted to know what they were fixing to require of American farmers. And when we got to the wash pack station, they showed us how you can dip it in chemicals, even if they're organic vegetables, that will keep your vegetables fresh longer. Well, my question is, what exactly is that chemical? It is a derivative of formaldehyde. So they're taking even the organic ones, your vegetables, and they dip them in a coating to keep them from doing this, getting soft. Okay. So if you can at all shop locally, a neighbor's growing vegetables, go give them $20 and go pick what you want out of there, folks. Stop buying your vegetables out of stores. It's not safe. It's not natural, and it's not healthy for your body. Within 3 days, the nutrients that your body needs from this cucumber is gone. The cucumber has already degraded to such a point, even if it still looks pretty, there's nothing left here for your body. That's why fresh picking just off the vine is so important for your health. Okay. Now let's move to a more important topic. There are numerous states that restrict rain catchment systems. Okay. So say you want to catch rainwater, right? Because you want to be more sustainable. You want to get off the grid. I don't care what you're reasoning for. It should be your right? It's coming out of the sky. It's rainwater. Arkansas, California, Colorado, Georgia, Illinois, Nevada, North Carolina, Oregon, Rhode Island, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Washington, and Wisconsin, as well as Kansas and North Dakota, all have restrictions on catching your own rainwater. So depending on what state you live in, what county you live in, you need to check that before you spend a lot of money setting up rain catchment systems. Even if you were just going to use what you caught to water your garden, especially in areas like Oregon, right, Miss Sherry, where half your state can't water their gardens, you need to check that stuff out, guys. Understand that local politics has a lot of power. Some of you may even consider running. You don't have to understand everything, love. You can learn as you go. But we need good, solid people getting back in at the ground level and taking back control of these archaic regulations. I mean, there's just so many regulations to do anything nowadays. A new company can't even start up, folks, because of that. Now, Leslie wanted me to let you guys know, and Leslie is our news editor. All right, we have a newsletter. Comes out twice a month. We were asking $30 every 6 months, a donation of $30, and you got the 2 newsletters monthly. If you send any amount for the fire victims in Lahaina over the next couple of days, make sure you send your email address to me, and I'm going to make sure you get the newsletter. Leslie said she'll send it to you, and we won't charge you anything for it. And the ways that you can give, we have so many, guys: Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or even the Maui Give Send Go. Now, next topic, bird flu. Oh, good morning, JD. How are you? Klamath Falls graduate here. Well, hello. I'm drinking my morning coffee. It was insane this morning. Remember, I told you guys my mom fell. She shattered her wrist, folks. She's going into surgery in about 2 hours, put plates in her arm. She's 81. Thank God it was just a wrist. Samson's getting his peanuts cut off right now, and my husband's having a whole come apart. But you got to do what you got to do. The puppy weighs 110 pounds. I've got to do something. I've just got to. Thank you, Rebecca. It's just a lot going on. And I didn't even have my coffee this morning. My daughter's like, I dropped her off at work. She said, Mom, what are you doing? I said, I'm going home to go live to say good morning to everyone, to give them updates about the Maui trip, about the newsletter, about the bird flu. I said, I'm going to drink coffee. That's what I'm doing today. Drink coffee. Because sometimes you just have to baby yourself. And today, that's my day. All right, guys, bird flu. A lot of people ask me where I get my information. I don't watch a lot of mainstream media or even social media. I simply don't. A lot gets sent to me, and I'm thankful for it. But I tell you what I do, I read. And I like to go to the government sites. Hey, is it law? Good morning. I like to go to like .gov or .usda.gov because I want to hear it out of the horse's mouth. All right. So right now, when this was an hour ago, 1 hour ago, bird flu outbreak is slowing, but MDARD isn't declaring victory yet. So that's coming out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. All right. And they're saying the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, short for MDARD, and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services shows only one outbreak in June. A dairy herd in Clinton County reported on June 7th. Since the virus rekindled among dairy herds in Michigan in late March, the state previously hadn't gone more than 8 days without confirming a new outbreak. Is this a sign that emergency orders should be put in place, or that the emergency orders they've already put in place are working? Director Tim said he isn't raising his arms in victory yet. Guys, let me tell you something. Once you give the government any extra control, even for an emergency, they don't want to let it go. Power goes to people's head, okay? We all know that. If you give them emergency control for emergencies, then they'll just start declaring everything an emergency to keep power. I mean, have you ever seen kids play together and you let one kid, you're like, okay, you're in charge, all right? Watch what that child does while they're in charge. I'm in charge. We're going to do what I want to do. I mean, you have to keep intervening and discussing empathy. And was that really nice, little Jimmy? Should you really have told little Susie that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you as the adult have to keep pulling little Jimmy back in control. You got to be like, look, yo, little Jimmy, man, I think me saying you're in charge has gone to your head. Your government's no different. In fact, the federal government is like a gluttonous stick right now. The way that it was structured in the Constitution was that it had minimal power, just an umbrella, right? And states had individual rights. Well, not so much anymore, folks. What we're seeing is our federal government just banging out restrictions and tightening down, and it just smells a whole lot like the World Economic Forum to me. It just smells like the World Economic Forum. Everything out of their mouth. Oh, yeah, that'd be great, is it, Law? I'm glad you popped on during work. So, guys, what do y'all think about the fact that in the last 2 years, more than 96 million chickens have been killed? Cold is the word they like to use, but let's just keep it real. They murdered the chickens. 96 million chickens lost their lives because of something called bird flu. And then that didn't stop it, did it? Didn't help at all. The bird flu jumps to dairy cows, right? And now it's jumping from dairy cows to humans. How do y'all feel about that? It says it's quite deadly in birds, but the survival rate is high among cattle. Though it is rare, humans can also catch the virus. Hey, DJ. Sassy Girl said that's why I started raising mine. And JD said it's fear porn for control. It's exactly what it is. It's also cruelty. All right. I raise chickens. All right. I don't really keep my chickens in a coop. Now, I have one set of chickens I keep in a coop, but I compost in that coop. What that means is I bring in a lot of materials, pile it all up, and those chickens are always busy making compost, eating bugs. Right, JD? My other set of chickens are on rotational grazing, and they clean the weeds out of my garden, keep the bugs down, eat the weed seeds. I put them to work. Any kind of factory farming is disgusting to me, all right? Because I raise animals because I'm humane and I love animals. To see animals shoved in barns, knowing that chicken manure is so high in nitrogen, the smell will burn your eyes, right? I cannot understand how America over the last 40 years has really gotten where we are. And I'm just desperately praying more people will pull out of the system to make a stand and say, look, I'm going to get my own chickens, right? Or I'm going to let somebody like Sam, who's got space and time, and this is what she literally does for her life. I'm going to let her raise it and cull it, and I'm just going to purchase it from her. Is it going to cost you a little more? Yeah. But it's going to be organic without chemicals, and that chicken lived a good life until the day it gave up its little chicken body for me to survive. Miss Davis said, I feel it was all planned, and who's to say all these chickens really had it, right? Did you guys see? Because I actually have quite a few people on our channel that are from Australia. They've been killing the bees now. And you go, I'm not talking a few bees. I'm talking about the honeybees, like millions of hives for some kind of disease the bees have. That is now their go-to. If a large group of any animals gets a virus, they kill them. So you got chickens, they get sick, kill them. Cows, kill them. Bees, kill them. I'm waiting any day now for that to move on to like humans. Is it Law says just shows how people the measuring tool they use and how they can manipulate the readings, and you can find anything and the ignorant will believe it. I totally agree with that. I never thought I would be doing all this. Sassy Girl, neither did I. Oh, thank you, friend. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. When I went to school for 10 years to be an educator, I never saw myself owning a farm. But even when my children were young, and I was different than the other mothers. I didn't circumcise my boys. I breastfed all my kids, even while I was teaching. I stayed home until they hit a year old. I refused to work. Like, I was always a little different than everybody else in raising my kids. Debbie, while Illinois restricts your ability to catch rainwater, they also charge you for however much of your property allows rainwater to come. And you have 3 different water bills when you live in Illinois. Oh my gosh, are you serious? That's insane. Folks, I keep telling all of you, look, Louisiana has an amazing governor. We have been so blessed. Not only did he force the 10 Commandments back into the classrooms and all public facilities. I mean, well, like state-owned facilities, colleges, that kind of stuff. He has restricted the abortion pill. You can't just go get it anymore. You have to have a prescription. He has released and eased our right to protect ourselves with our Second Amendment rights. He was the first governor to sign legislation that our state, representatives put together that limited how much power the World Economic Forum had in the state of Louisiana. They can't tax us. They can't pass laws in Louisiana, and we are not required to follow any restrictions set by who? The UN or the World Economic Forum in Louisiana. So my point is this. If you're living in a state that is stepping all over you, please move down to Louisiana. It's hot, not going to lie to you, and it's buggy. But I can tell you this. We can grow food, hot, heat-loving plants 9 months out of the year. Yep, you heard me, 9 months out of the year. You could put food on your table without being worried about starving. I don't know how anybody can live up north right now with everything going on, knowing how they're trying to take your ability to have wood stoves, the restrictions that they're putting on how much electricity that you use, how much water that you use. It's so mind-blowing to me because I feel so free in Louisiana. Like nobody's coming to tell me what I can do with my well water, And so my heart hurts for the ones of you that live up north that truly love your state, your community, your family's there, your jobs there, your memories are there. But sometimes, folks, some of you know God's telling you to move. Because I've had a lot of people reach out to me. If you're looking to move and you're looking to purchase land that's not going to break bank, please reach out to me. And, I'll see what I can do to hook you in with a good realtor that'll help you find land that you can raise livestock on. Because Louisiana is an agricultural state. So our tax system is set up to support farm entrepreneurs. We have very relaxed cottage food laws about making and selling products from your home. That's all in your favor when it comes down to what we're looking at. I don't think we have much time left. I don't. I mean, the 2030 agenda is supposed to be finished by 2030, and they're ramping up pretty hard. I do think I see lockdowns again really, really soon in our future. I don't see 2024 ending on a good note. I don't. If you look over my shoulder right there, there's some brown things sitting on my shelf right here. Those are potatoes that I bought and cut up. I just harvested potatoes. And I told my husband, I was like, why? At 11 o'clock at night, am I shopping for organic, non-GMO potatoes online? Found out like 2 days later that Idaho had cut the water to all the potato farmers. And I went, oh, so that is why God had me ordering more potato seeds. So I'm putting more potatoes in the ground. You can just about pull 3 crops of potatoes in Louisiana before the cold hits. So I'm going to tell you guys what, potatoes will save you if you're hungry. All right. Potatoes, eggs for your protein, potatoes for your starches and that kind of stuff. You really need to look at what you could put in the ground right now that's going to help you get through if there becomes a problem, because China kicked back our wheat. China kicked back all of our beef. I see farms just toppling, folks, just toppling all across America. Heritage farms that have been in this game for generations, I don't see them hanging through and making it out of 2024 in pieces, like in one big piece. And once that farmland is chopped up and sold, that's it. It's never going to go back in rotation. And we're losing our farmland. We're losing our farmers. We're losing our rights. You have a right to water, food, and air without fear of your government coming in and stopping it. Maybe if they restricted these corporation farms from growing foods that suck up water and then exporting those foods to other countries, you could grow food for you and your family. Think about that. All right, let me talk about Maui real quick, and then I need to get off because I've got some things I got to take care of before I pick Sammy back up from the vet. All right, Maui Trip works like this, folks. We're rolling out August 1st. I land in Honolulu. And remember, all the plane tickets were donated by somebody that works for Delta that watches us. That was her giving to this mission trip. So plane tickets were paid for. August 1st, we land in Honolulu. August 2nd, we're flying to Maui. Then I drive to Hana to meet the king. August 2nd, I'm staying with a lady in Hana. August 3rd, we'll visit with the king all day. We'll drive back towards Lahaina. And then from August 3rd to August 12th, we will be everywhere. So I need you guys to be thinking about what questions do you want me to focus on with this Maui trip? What do you feel in your mind has not been answered dealing with Maui? If I can get those answered, I will. If you want me to try to hunt somebody down, somebody you've seen on YouTube, and I know most of you, excuse me, most of you are going to stop. I know your skin's itching, but stop scratching like that. It's bad for your skin. I know most of you are going to ask me to reach out to Eric West. I can't. He doesn't return calls unless your YouTube channel is really, really large. I'm not complaining. I'm not speaking ugly. I'm speaking truth. So I can't reach out to him. But there are other people on Maui, other than the king, that you would like me to try to find and interview. If there are places that you would like me to try to go, please get those. Drop them in comments. Let me know. I care what you think. This is not my mission trip. This is our mission trip. Nobody needs to tell me to bring the gospel. That's going with me. It is in my DNA. I cannot help but talk about God and Jesus. He is the love of my life. So you don't have to worry about that. We're gonna see people set free and people giving their lives to Jesus on this mission trip. I would like to see, not to see, but to have the ability to give more money to the fire victims. Between the vehicle and the hotel, right now, that was $4,000 that I put down yesterday. Yep. That's how expensive it is to go to Maui. So it cost me $4,000 for a vehicle for, 11 days and a condo for 10. It altogether was $4,000. And I still have to get plane tickets from Honolulu to Maui because Delta doesn't fly directly into Maui. They fly into Honolulu, then I have to puddle jump over. So I still have to do those, and those were a couple hundred. That's all coming out of our pockets. The tickets were paid for. So whatever money you send, we're going to be finding fire victims and passing those out. I will let you guys know how we will find the fire victims, because what we're doing now is I'm reaching out to the people that I met in September and October in 2023 when I was there recording and reporting. And they're looking for people who have not been able to get help anywhere, like they're fixing to lose their land and they're just at their end. They're looking for those people for me, and I will reach out to them, and hopefully you and I will be able to help somebody save their property. Because I'm going to tell you guys now, it's the best we can do. Ooh, I don't know what my sinuses are messing with me today for. $162 million raised, and it went to nonprofits that pocketed it. So it's up to you and I to make the little man feel like they've been seen. It's just how the game's played. They're intentionally trying to make us all poor. And I really want you to think about that today. Look around you when you're driving. I noticed when I took Sam to the vet and then I drove my daughter to get some blood work done and then I drove her to work, the roads are all falling apart. It just looks like a third world country in America right now. Everywhere. Doesn't matter if you're in the city or you're in the rural areas. Poverty is all over America, folks. You can smell it. They're just taking and taking and taking from us, and nothing's coming back. Those sky trails I got banned from Facebook. Hey, Brian, I've been wondering where you were. Yeah, they'll ban you. Look, let me tell you something. When you get too close to the truth, they punish you. They demonetized me, lost $1,400 a month just like that. Nothing I could do. They refuse to let me be monetized. They don't like what I talk about. Putin's in Vietnam. No, I did not know that. I haven't really looked at much today. Kind of got up and got busy and then just wanted to reach out to you guys, tell y'all I love y'all. I appreciate y'all being here with us, supporting Starkey Farmstead, rowing in our boat. This channel is not a channel that we just talk, folks. Look, there was a fire in Maui. We thought kids were missing. Guess what we did? We went to Maui, not once, not twice, but 3 times, because we're a doing channel. We saw that the school was failing our children in my little rural South Louisiana parish. Got together with the church. We literally built a school. Been going to training for that last week, going training for that next week. School starts after Labor Day. Yeah. So This channel is not a let's just complain. We're like, hey, we're going to go talk to, the police jury, which I did. Went up there with the whole spiel about protecting the land where I live, protecting the farms where I live, stopping the neighborhoods from coming in and gobbling up all the farmland. This is a channel where we do stuff. So I always tell everybody, it's not a fluffy channel. I'm covering topics that make people uncomfortable. I'm okay with that. We have to discuss it. We find reasons, we find problems, and you and I find solutions. Okay. Oh, you read Burn Back Better? I'm going to get it and read it on the plane when I'm going over to Maui. Definitely am. Yeah, JD said Telegram has good information on chemtrails. Oh, thanks, Brian. You guys are godsend, and I really mean that. Let's pray, and then let me get busy. I need to do a whole bunch of stuff when my husband gets home from lunch. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just ask that you will bless this trip. Continue to send the provision for the vision you gave us for Maui. Let us go there and see people set free. Let them know that you love them. Let us go and walk and love and just be there for people. I pray over my mother right now, Lord, that the surgeon's hands will be steady and that her healing will be in your perfect time. And I thank you and I give you glory that you protected her from a broken hip. I'll take a risk. Just thank God it was not something that would put her down at her age. And I just thank you now, Lord, for everybody under my voice, for all of these God-sent people who are here to help me change the world, to set people free, and to get the truth out over the airways. And without them, Lord, without all these soldiers of Christ, our platform would be nothing. And so I just glorify you. I just thank you. You're so good to all of us, Father. And I know each and every person here has their own individual issues. I ask that you would just comfort them today. I ask that you would fill them with the Holy Spirit, that they would just know that you love them. Let them find favor amongst men. Let everywhere that their footsteps, that they take territory, Lord. May they go out and may they be a representation and an ambassador of Jesus Christ everywhere they go. May they walk in power. May they walk in peace, and may they walk in love. In Jesus' most precious name, amen. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. Talk to you guys later.